Hello, hello, hello. So this is take 2. Thank you for joining me this evening or this afternoon or whatever time you're joining me for another little video. And today we're going to be talking about why we need happy hips. But before I get started on that one, if you are watching me, please do give me a little thumbs up. If you're on Facebook, double tap. If you're on Instagram, I would love to know you're watching, and same if you're watching on catch up too, and put a comment in the comments box and let me know if you have any questions on anything I'm going to talk about today. So, why do we need happy hips, and why does the approach that I use start in the pelvis? So this approach is based on what I'm training with Biomechanics Education. I'm training to become a biomechanics coach at the moment, which is taking rather longer than usual because of COVID, of course, but nearly there. Anyway, the theory behind it is that when you start working with the pelvis and assessing the pelvis for any imbalances, then because you're looking at the pelvis first of all, if you were to move the pelvis, it can create effects, or it requires you to move further up and down the chain. So if you've got any imbalances or anything going on in the pelvis, then this can create problems further up and down the chain. So this is really interesting for those of us who dance, particularly belly dance, rakshaki, fusion dance, whatever styles that you do. Although we like to use our whole bodies to express ourselves, we do a lot of work in the pelvis. It's kind of our thing. So, strong hip work, intense shimmies, that kind of thing. And imagine putting all of that intense work on top of a niggly knee or a sore shoulder or something like that, and often it can create some more serious problems, for example. So by working with the pelvis, by correcting imbalances that you may have there, this is really going to help your dancing. And also, if you're feeling any discomfort from your dancing, you may find that that's relieved by starting to correct these imbalances. So in the system I use, we work with muscle energy techniques. You may have heard me talk about them before, because sometimes we think our muscles are tight, and I put that in inverted commas in bunny ears, but actually they're in spasm, which basically means they are not quite functioning properly. They've got stuck short, they've got stuck long. Basically, they're not necessarily tight, but they can be fixed by these muscle energy techniques. So we often talk about the dangers of sitting too long, but really it's just about staying in one position too long, which is easy to do throughout the day. But let's take sitting as an example. If you spend a lot of time sitting, the muscles in the backs of our legs, so our hip extensors, can get elongated and stuck in an elongated position, and our hip flexors in the front of the hips and can get stuck in a shortened position. So we can use these muscle energy techniques plus some other strength and flexibility work to help them to release. And again, that's in inverted commas. So yes, so it's important, obviously, to try and find that balance. Imagine if one is kind of a little bit more in spasm than the other, and then you try and put your shimmies or your hip work on top of that. Again, could be creating problems for you further up or down the chain. Now, I don't ever think we're going to obtain perfect symmetry in the body. We all have a dominant hand that we write with. If you drive, for example, you're always going to be on one side of the car. But the more we can try and bring the body into balance, it's going to help improve our mobility, our strength, our flexibility, our ability to do more in our movement practice and in our dance, and hopefully relieve some aches and niggles along the way. So if that is interesting to you, I would love to know about it. Please do put a comment below if you have any questions, and particularly if you're watching on catch up as well. There's just a few thoughts I have about why it's so important to really think about working on your pelvis and just some gentle strength and flexibility ways to not only improve your dancing, but just to feel better all around, particularly if you have particularly if you feel tight in your hips, for example. So if you would like to work with me on releasing your hips and finding happier hips in 2022, then I have a program or a mini course coming up called the Happy Hips Toolbox, and it's going to be basically working with me live for 7 days, and it's going to be totally free of charge. What we're going to be doing is working on some hip release techniques, a little bit of strengthening, a little bit of flexibility, and it's all going to be done very incrementally. So if you're just starting to build a personal practice, it's going to start really, really small, and we're going to build up gradually, which is the best way to start a new habit, really, and it's a fantastic way to start the new year. We're going to be starting on the 10th of January, and contrary to previous challenges I've done, it's going to be similar to them, but actually we're not going to have a Facebook group because I'm a bit sick of Facebook groups. I don't know about you. So we're going to be running it actually within the app that I use for my clients. So you're going to have access to the app, which is fantastic because you can have it on your phone or your computer, and it gives you reminders of the exercises you need to do. And then I'm going to be sending you updates through there as well. Also, it's going to, what else is going to happen? There's going to be some prizes. So I haven't done this before. You need to be in it to win it. So there's going to be prizes for completing the week. And I'm also going to be doing some live Zoom calls again as well within the week. So you'll have the opportunity to come on the call live with me and ask your questions. If it doesn't work out for your time zone, you can always submit your questions and I can answer them, and then there will be recording as well. And I'm going to be offering one lucky person the opportunity to have a live assessment so we can really see what's going on with their body, and then they'll have some pointers to work towards going forwards. So if you'd like to join, the link will be either in the comments on Facebook, in my bio on Instagram, and you can comment below with any questions you have about it, or feel free to shoot me a private message. Thank you so much for joining me today. I haven't seen any questions come through, so I'm going to end the broadcast now, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Big love, and I will see you next time.